No, that's not the Dorkening. That's Back to the Future.
Oh, is that what that is? It's so good that you had to explain that to every nerd listening right now. Phenomenal.
Start the show, goddammit.
You're not the boss of me. I'll start the show when I'm good and ready. I'll do it now. I'm doing it because I want to, not because you told me.
Got it.
You are, in fact, watching The Dorkening.
You're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned.
For all the geek news everywhere. Dorkening.
And this is The Dorkening. Trust me, I'm smarter than these guys.
Because The Dorkening is the best and most educational entertainment and information source that the Trauma Team knows of. It's the best. The Dorkening.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew.
They sure are.
What was that?
What a great commercial.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
I don't know what happened there. It literally just stopped. I didn't touch anything. Rich, just to let you know, and this is for us folks here using the StreamYard right now. Use private chat.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, my bad.
That's all right. Thankfully, you didn't say anything like, oh man, what a bunch of jerks must be watching tonight, or anything like that.
Oh boy.
Like I was
Hey,
like,
everybody.
wow, there's a lot of comments already, and then I'm like, oh
it's us.
yeah, that's
Oh boy.
it's the same message repeatedly. Okay, yes, Carrie, isn't StreamYard fun? I mean, fun is certainly a word you could use to describe it. Not the one I would use.
Yeah.
You could.
Hey, Carrie.
Gary's great, man.
So,
Hey guys, thanks for having me on tonight. I know you were, in a bit of a bind. Leo was pulled away to take care of some, personal and urgent issues. Nothing regarding his health, but certainly important, and hopefully everything works out for the best right now. But he also just deserves to take a break anyway. Fearless Leoter.
every day.
Absolutely.
I like that name, Leoter. Every day.
So yeah. But from what I understand, you guys actually, doing this show every week actually have a plan for it. So take it away.
Oh, here we go.
We decided 2023.
I'm just the monkey behind the keyboard, guys. Tell me what to do.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you could always
go ahead.
Sorry, Drew.
I was gonna say you could always introduce yourself, Leo style, like, "Hey there, I'm Brandon. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard, and we got a great show for you tonight lined up." But next up, we got Velvet Joker.
I'm Brandon Powers. You can, if you want to know anything about me, you can look it up on Google. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I'm just the monkey behind the keyboard here. But never mind all that. Why don't you come on over and check out the Dorkening Podcast Network.com. We have 40 plus great shows, just a lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome things.
That 10 for 10
Tuesday night.
Can I tell you? Can you tell that I've worked with Leo a lot?
A little bit.
Yeah. Congratulations. You are now the Theo. You are the fake Leo. The Flea. No, correction. The Fleo.
Fleo. Yeah.
Yep.
As long as it's not Theo, because that translates to ugly in.
No.
So anyway, hey guys, I'm the Velvet Joker, aka Rich Davis, and here we are Tuesday on the Splash Pages. And we may or may not have a special guest tonight. We're really crossing our fingers. He's running a little bit late, but these things do tend to happen on occasion. So we're going to press forward as we do, professional podcasters like we are, and I'm going to roll it over to my man Drew.
Joseph.
Hi, Drew.
I'm just going to put this. I'm just putting this Green Lantern ring on just in case.
I thought you were going to give us
because you
the
never
finger.
know. I'm Drew. I'm here, and Jeremy, which did that way.
You got to point the opposite way of the way I'm actually am. But hey, it's me, Jar, and I'm here also, and I'm kind of excited tonight. Well, hopefully our special guest joins us, because that would be great. And also, we got to read a really good story this week. Although we actually had the chance to read two really good stories this week. I was glad we stuck with this one, though. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys had as much fun as I did, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
I hope I read the right story then. Holy shit.
Yeah, right.
It's like about the only prep I did to help you guys out tonight. I was like, I can look up a bunch of these news items, or I can read the 4-issue comic book series. Fuck it, I'm going comic book.
It's supposed to be a 12-issue.
I knew I fucked up somewhere. Math is hard, kids.
I only read
I can
4
just see
issues,
it now.
that was
Don't
the
bother me. Bring the coffee.
Hey, it's like I said in a separate Dorkening chat earlier today. Studies have shown that 7 out of 5 people are absolutely terrible at math, and that approximately 83% of all statistics that are dropped in casual conversations are usually false.
Makes sense.
Indeed.
I'm going to go with yes.
Jabo. Drew is lagging. Yes. Also, he's having
I'm
problems
not lagging.
with his
You're
computer.
lagging. You're lagging. Go buy some more
Your
toys.
cigarette.
God.
Oh,
Lagging.
man.
What a night.
Are we
Love
going to
you,
start
though.
with some news this evening?
Yeah, I
Snooze?
guess
Yes.
while we're waiting for our guests, we might as well roll with the news because we're not quite ready to talk about the comic book yet.
Do we start with the biggest stuff first? Like,
let's start with the
do you
light
want-
stuff.
do-
Let's
do we
start
drop-
with
It's
the light
not
stuff.
really the size that counts, Drew. It's how you present it.
Or
So, guys,
Hold on.
I don't know if I don't know if you guys heard, but Lego is moving from Connecticut and Boston starting in 2025. They are leaving Enfield. They're moving to Boston. It should be completed by 2026, offering everybody jobs to relocate if they wish to.
It takes time to put these things together.
Beginning small entry news, if you will.
Reusing that.
Yeah.
I have one question. Will the headquarters be built out of Legos, or will it be human-made product?
Yes, because Legos are human-made product.
Interesting.
I was actually in construction for some time, and they have made these concrete forms now that are very Lego-ish in design, where the layman can put them together, and then you pour. It's these styrofoam blocks that are held together with these like inside of them to keep it not too carpentry, but plastic ties that hold it all together. And you just pour the concrete into it as you build it up, and it's all like little toots on the bottom, like little Legos. It's kind of interesting.
That's pretty cool. But what if they want to save money? They build it out of Duplo.
Oh, that would be great.
Duplo. Okay, that's pretty dope. I mean, the world could use more Legos. Or Lego knockoffs, whatever one works.
Drew, you got any news items?
Well, so I did want to bring up one thing that I thought was pretty cool, that I do believe that the lovely and immortally still good-looking Angela Bassett has made small history in the nerd world by being one of the first actresses to be nominated for a Marvel movie. She's been nominated, I believe it's Best Supporting Actress for Black Panther 2. And honestly, good for her. You know what I mean? It's about time that, some Marvel movies start seeing that a good attention. I still think Logan got robbed, but that's just me. Still Marvel, still counts, but good for her. And honestly, hope for her the best.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Indeed. What's
cared about the Oscars? That would really fucking do it for me, man.
I know, right?
I mean, honestly, like it's the Oscars that have just become as seemingly pointless and tacky as the Golden Globes. Because I mean, you never hear everyone like, "We're having a Golden Globes watching party." Who? You and the fucking chicken wing delivery guy? Shut up.
His name is Steve, okay? And he has...
I was going to say Steven would probably have fun.
But...
You do not sound like that.
But, well, there is another big news that I wanted to discuss, but Rich, you also had it, so I think I'll set it up and then you just conclude it.
Okay, which one?
The Adult Swim announcement.
Okay. I was going to make a really bad joke.
Oh, yes. The Pool at the Y is available for adults from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm glad that we were able to get that announcement out there. And if you're trying to figure out which YMCA we're talking about, it's the one you're thinking of.
And also, just to let you know, Brandon, they did switch bingo night. It's now on Thursdays, not Fridays. So,
that makes perfect sense, because on Wednesdays, if you decide to have bingo coincide with your ham and bean or spaghetti and meatball supper that the parish throws, if it's during Lent at all, people can still have meat. On Fridays, forget about it.
Boom. Simple.
Completely.
But all jokes aside, and we're not even going to talk about the next month's Yahtzee game. Adult Swim has made the announcement that voice actor Justin Roiland is essentially no longer going to be a part of the network. He's no longer going to be a part of Rick and Morty. They are still committed to producing season 7. The writer's still working tirelessly for that. I do believe there's been some talk about, of course, recasting the part, because Justin Roiland does both the voice of Rick and Morty, and a smattering of others. I don't really know. I know some, but I don't really do much more. But my man Velvet J, take it away.
All right. Well, I'm going to preface this with I know nothing about the details of what happened to Mr. Roiland. I'm just reading the facts. In May of 2020, he was charged with 1 felony domestic battery with corporal injury and 1 felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, and or deceit. Those are some pretty serious charges. Again, I don't know any of the details of it. I don't know one way or another, but that is the reason why they have chosen to cut ties with him.
Yeah, and I certainly understand.
What do you guys?
I understand them wanting to separate from somebody who's in that situation because there's no way for them to determine, especially right now, one way or the other, what it is. Because I mean, they are charges, and that is what it is. That's not guilt, and I'm only saying that as like bare bones. Don't without the media machine, nothing like that. It's very hard for us as human beings, and we've all done it. You know, when you hear somebody's charged with something, you're like, well, there must be something to it. Well, that's actually flies in the face of how we practice jurisprudence in this country, which is innocent until proven guilty. It's usually guilty until proven innocent. And for him, we lose.
We lost Spellcheck. He'll be back.
Oh, okay. Here he is.
There he is.
But he's kind of there.
Come into
the light, Carolyn.
I think he's in the middle.
Can you guys hear me?
I took a we can hear you earlier today.
You can hear me, just not see me.
Yes. What your voice is so melodious.
Rich, can you hear us? Follow my voice. Go into the light. Go into the light, Rich Davis.
Howdy ho. Welcome to Splash Pages.
But what Brandon was
so sorry, I went on a
It's okay. I understand the problem.
But yeah, the whole thing is like I hope that overall the truth will out. For both sides, you know. I just will out. I meant what I said. I got it. I don't need you to explain my shit. No. But
sorry.
No.
He's so angry.
I'm not that angry.
Leo, stop.
Normal angry. Why is Leo so mad tonight?
Why is Leo so mad?
When Leo's like the Hulk, instead of getting green, he grows a beard. Yeah, I hope that if there's justice to be meted out, it is done so. You know, that's a horrible situation altogether, and you know, I don't envy anybody for being in the thick of that. The alleged victim and the alleged attacker. That's fucking nuts.
And I think also on top of it, we've seen in the past where it really doesn't help anybody by just jumping on what is reported as of then, because a lot of it is sometimes speculation. Sometimes, like you said, it's just this is what the person is charged with. This is what they're going to court for, you know. And the best example of that in recent memory was the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial.
Yeah,
you know.
We all have a tendency to turn everything into Pepsi versus Coke. You know,
basically, that's even better.
You know, it's like resist that urge. Pick RC. You know, you'll be okay.
What's that?
I said pick RC Cola.
Yeah, just stick to ginger ale. Ginger ale never did wrong.
What the fuck did Schweppes do to you?
Ginger ale never did anything wrong. Seagram's, man. I need the Seagram's.
Thank you. I actually am all about Seagram's ginger ale. I just can't get it everywhere. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Schweppes is the closest alternative for mass market, buddy. Don't fucking test me on ginger ale.
I don't know. Did you guys hear about Julian Sands?
Yeah, he's been missing for a few days.
Yeah. What happened with that? I did not know that.
A week now.
All right, so he's been gone since He was reported missing on January 13th. He went up to the Mount Baldy Mountains in California to go hiking solo. A storm hit, and he has not been found since. And since then, a second person has also gone missing out there, and neither of them
But they're not famous, so we don't know them.
They've sent drones. They've sent all kind of cameras. I guess the rescue has been harder to enact. But we hope he's still alive. I think his family is they're kind of starting to give up hope that he might be gone. But if you guys don't remember, he was the main protagonist in the Warlock series. He was in Boxing Helena. He did a voice for the Jackie Chan Adventures. He's been a great character actor for years. If you guys Google Julian Sands, you'll definitely recognize his face. And so we wish his family the best and hope he gets found.
And is, relatively.
That's all we can do.
Relatively unharmed, hopefully.
Rough, man.
Do we have any good news?
I'm
here with the good news.
I got a raise at work.
Oh, well,
that's good news.
Good job, Drew.
But there is some
Mazel
good news.
tov, Slancha.
I just saw this morning a new trailer. Harley Quinn has a new Valentine's special that's going to be animated. And it was a hilarious trailer. I don't know if any of you guys got to see it, but it looked very funny. Etrigan is rhyming, and he's asking someone if they wish for a bigger penis. So, we'll see how that goes.
What? Hold on.
Okay.
What?
Never mind. He's rhyming to Bane. He's rhyming actually to Bane. And in the rhyme, he says, I guess you're wishing for a bigger penis. And Bane kind of goes, Batman. So, yeah, definitely a trailer.
I'm going to blow Etrigan up.
It could be a little bigger.
Nicely done, Brad.
I'm going to blow Etrigan the demon up.
I will be this demon's reckoning.
I've had plenty of fucking time. This is the reason this cup is here. All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is to do Bane's voice.
If I take that mask off, would it be painful?
Yes, it would. For you.
Oh, that's great, man.
The key is I don't do an impression of Tom Hardy as Bane. I'm doing an impression of Sean Connery as Zardos. You'd never fucking guess, right?
Nope.
Very nice. Very nice.
Nicely done.
I was born and molded by it.
So I see Carrie is asking us, could you remind me what sites do you guys read comics for free online? I had
we don't read
a couple
comics
different
for
sites
free
to find
online.
both The Question, The Death of Vic Sage, and The Question 2005, which was last week's episode.
We don't steal comics here, Carrie. But that being said, send me a private message after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, readallcomics.com. There you go, Carrie. Readallcomics.com.
Or don't listen to Rich because we have no affiliation with such horribly illegal activities that give away such things for free.
Private message.
They run commercials.
No, honestly, Carrie, if you just look up, if you just look up read free comics online, there's like a bunch of sites. It's just how much it ranges from good to how often do you want your page flooded with ads?
That is true.
So,
yes. Yeah. Just
yeah. So yeah, you get very used to. Oh, let's click on the next comic. Nope. Okay,
there's only three per page. 3 per page.
Yeah. And 1 out of every 3 is usually porn related. So the usual.
Yeah.
Which is like overkill for me because I already have like 18 tabs.
That's why it takes me so long to read comics.
Yeah, but
so much porn to have to watch first.
Is there any other news? Because I saw some things, but I felt it was a little quiet recently in the comic nerd wise. Comic nerd worldwide.
It depends on what you look at for material as quote news.
If you look at everything that they put out every 10 seconds, like CBN and all that.
Oh,
Cosmic.
I remember one piece of news. That's comic related. So they announced that Michael Kudlis, from The Walking Dead, will be the next Lex Luthor in Superman and Lois season 3.
So are you going with hair or bald?
Honestly,
probably
I don't
bald.
know, but a friend of mine brought up again, we couldn't ask John Cryer. I'm like, I guess maybe he wanted to grow his hair back or something.
He actually was shooting another show.
We have had red-haired Lex Luthors in the comics before.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Douglas isn't even in the first, technically speaking, red-headed Lex Luthor that we've seen live action, and I'm not counting Michael Rosenbaum, Sherman Howard. I always reverse his name.
Right.
Howard Sherman. In The Adventures of Superboy.
Redhead.
Christopher. Redhead.
Okay.
Yeah. He played Bud in Day of the Dead by George Romero.
Thank you. I was like, I know I've seen him in something.
If you've ever seen Stephen King's The Stand, he's the doctor at the facility in the Center for Disease Research and what have you, that comes in all sick and tries to kill Gary Sinise, and that's how he escapes. So
oh shit!
This IMDb moment brought to you in part by ADHD.
Thank you, Brandon. It's always fantastic.
By Deadly Ground
play like 7 degrees of separation for any person.
You're welcome. Welcome to my fucking nightmare.
I know. How's it going right now? I know the meds have been hard to get. Have you been able to?
I got them eventually.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so I've been maintaining fairly well for the past several days. That's why I was able to read the book tonight before the show. If I had not been medicated,
would have been hard.
You guys would probably still be like, all right, I mean, it's 8:36. Is Brandon actually going to show up? And I'm like, oh shit, the show! Oh goddamn!
Listen,
the beer.
It's all good. It would have just been the 3 nerd migos,
Sitting backstage, going, "Hey, is somebody going to let us in?"
Yeah, exactly. The 3 nerd migos.
What a cool party they must be having inside. I wish they'd let us in, man. It'd be fucking cool.
The plethora of nerdy things,
Hey, is Brandon here? No, Brandon's not here, man.
No, Brandon ain't here, man. Brandon's out there, man.
What do you mean there? Man?
So that's new. I admittedly, don't know much about that, but that's pretty cool. I know another.
How about this? How about this? Jason Momoa. He came out of a meeting with Peter Safran, James Gunn, and David Zaslav, and he was very happy and excited about whatever the results of that meeting were.
Okay.
And people immediately started saying, "Oh, he's done playing Aquaman. He's gonna play Lobo." And to which my initial reaction was, that's one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my entire goddamn life. I'm going to reiterate this on tomorrow night's show anyway, but
get it out now.
It just doesn't make sense to me that the over $1 billion profiting movie that DC made, that they would take and kneecap it at 2 movies and try to shift the star who has made a name for himself as the character into the incredibly less well-known character of Lobo. That makes no sense whatsoever. I think they likely offered him a producer's role for a Lobo movie. Like, they are going to do it, and he's going to be able to have some creative input on the process. I bet that's what he was excited about, especially in everyone.
I'm fine with that.
All those nerds were frothing at the mouth, like, no, it's gonna be this. I'm like, listen, just because you want it doesn't mean you get it. Like, get over it.
Brandon, visually, I mean, you're basically taking Aquaman and throwing some white and black paint on his face.
Exactly. So I don't see how that works for what James Gunn and Peter Safran are trying to do.
And
tabula rasa.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Yeah, and tell me if I'm wrong, but didn't we already have like a live action Lobo? Wasn't he in that Krypton show?
Krypton.
Right?
Yeah, did a great job, actually.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was.
This is more, along the lines of what is
Cinematic.
actually coming through with DC Studios, where everything's going to be under like an umbrella. But
yeah,
more to the point, he's come forward since, after all the people saying like, no, it's going to be this, applying absolutely no sanity or logic to the situation whatsoever. Apparently, he came straight out and he was like, I'm always going to be Aquaman. Like, I am Aquaman. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. And they're already saying like, he's already saying like Aquaman 3 is going to be, a more lighthearted movie because there's some grimmer and darker tones, and they want to get the character to a point where he's actually like very happy with his role and the responsibility he has. Like he's kind of like found fulfillment. I dig that. That's good character development.
If your character is always fucking
disappointed
in life,
no need to Snyder it up. We get it.
But but Brandon, I think the thing being is what it is that the internet has been spoiled by the Amazon way of information. Like everything is. So the fact that James Gunn and Peter Safran have been keeping everything tight to the chest, everything is speculative. I mean, James Gunn shares a photo, and then someone's like, "Oh my God, is this?" And I'm just like, guys, can you just show support? Can you just post stuff like
I get excited about stuff too, but the knee jerk jumping to
it's some national treasure shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my God, there's a secret and everything. Shut up. Like, no, sometimes it's just a fucking telescope. Knock it off.
Exactly. Oh, if you watch the splash pages, but if we look exactly at Brandon's head, we'll find out that Leo isn't here. We got it. He'll be back next week.
I knew once I saw Brandon's face that it wasn't Leo's face, and that's what tipped me off. Oh, is that what tipped you off, Poirot? Shut up.
But I don't know. I honestly, at this point, I'm just tired. I mean, I was talking to my friend about this, and I think I'm on a comic book burnout. Like that's why I'm in no rush to watch anything or everything. I'm just like, guys, can we just relax, please, and just like chill, man? And
Dude, have you ever actually? First of all, real quick, Tom says, not saying it will happen, but I would like to see Dave Bautista play Lobo. Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, that would be interesting, but he's not going to do that. The guy's leaving the character trash because it's too much on his body, which honestly completely understand.
Agreed.
But I mean, have you ever like walked into a comic shop and actually like worse than overhearing is got sucked into a vehement conversation that is taking place about comic book?
Hey man,
like,
what do you think of this? Like, this is
when I was younger, I used to get sucked into those at one of my old comic shops, and oh God, like it's nice when you had the time, but then you're like wow, because there was this one guy always at the shop. He reveled in being a hater.
Yeah,
like he was like, he enjoyed it. He accepted it. He was like, no, I was born like this. I was like, you were born a hater, like you some stinkmeaner from fucking Boondocks. You just founded the hatocracy. Like Jesus.
There is an insane amount of stuff out there, Drew. You're right. Like I know Bad Batch season 2 dropped like a week or two ago, and I really enjoyed season 1, but I just haven't had the time to get to it.
Right. It's the same thing. Like I've seen. It's like when you see clips of a movie, but just because you saw pieces of it doesn't mean you've seen the movie. So you have to sit down and like rewatch it. Like recently, I've been catching up on a lot of like old DC films I never got to see. Like just between me and you guys, I finally watched Justice League Doom, Crisis on Two Earths. I watched. We talked about this. I watched Battle of the Super Sons. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Justice League. I watched Justice League Fatal 5. That was okay. Like it's just, and I'm just like, you know what, this is good stuff. Like I'm enjoying myself, and honestly, it's done in an hour and usually 20 minutes, like easy, you know.
Yep.
Oh, simple versus like, oh, hey, I'm about to 3-hour movie. Like, whoa.
First time watch on all those.
Yeah, I've just been catching up. You know, I just have a big collection of them just sitting in my queue, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'll make some soup, and just
that's the spirit.
You know, it's the winter. Let me hibernate nerd style. You know.
Welcome to Splash Pages Comic Book Club, where we take a look at comic book related stuff and say, you know what, yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Why not?
But you know, and I'll get to some of the other comic book movies and whatever and stuff. But I'm just like, it's winter. No chill, man. Let's just chill, bro. But back to news. I don't really have anything else except that I can't wait for March 1st because I need more Mando. That's all I gotta say. March 1st, season 3 Mando.
Yes. More Grogu.
More
Black Saber.
There's more. Listen, more Mando. Because I'm sorry, I don't care. That is the saving grace of Star Wars. Is Mando.
It's the only Star Wars my girlfriend watches with me, so it's very nice to have.
that nice
nerd-related property that the honey
bridge.
Yeah, I'm like,
connecting.
Mando's coming back, babe. She's like, what's that one? I'm like, the one with the baby Yoda.
What's that one? Which of the Star Wars is it, honey? The fourth one.
Like,
she won't the watch one the I like at all with me. At all.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what?
I'll put on Empire, and the house it becomes like the Sand People, just whoof. I only see one set of footprints.
You know, come up with a nickname. I'm not calling you that.
Well, Jeremy, you know they frighten easy, but they'll be back in great numbers.
Don't worry. Two more times because we get them as Red Hulk, and then we get him as Indiana Jones falling on his cane.
Museum. Yeah, we know, Indy. Come on down to the movie theater and check out Indiana
does the whip
Jones
not work anymore?
In the titanium hip.
It's all good. But
can you land the plane though?
Otherwise, I don't.
But
what was it?
Did somebody die right there?
So guys, what are you reading right now? Because I've been revisiting older comics. Like right now, I'm deciding I'm going to read Nightwing. That shit's really good. Like the '90s run of Nightwing.
I just started recollecting the original run of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've already have 1 through 9, so like I'm picking up the 10 through 62 now, and I'm reading them as I pick.
How
them
is
up.
it?
I love it.
How is it?
It's very dark. I enjoy it a lot. The anamorphic kind of creatures I've always been into, so like it feeds so many different geek things in me.
What about you, Velvet Jack?
Well, besides the storyline that we read for tonight, I read actually the storyline that we're going to do for next week, which is Defenders Indefensible.
Look at that. We can announce it on the show.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about next week.
So read it, everybody.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and I'll talk about it more next week.
Just listen to the conversation about it and make up your own mind if you want to read it, I guess.
Then you could just be like, hey.
What about you?
XP just told me to read this.
Brandon, you reading anything these days?
I mean, I have. It's not. I don't read so much as I look at the sheer number of fucking books that I actually do need to read, because I do have subs that I haven't touched in forever and a day. But I read the book for tonight as recently as right up to 17 minutes before the show. And
good job.
I do my my Comics Paradox alternate reality podcast, and we're getting ready to record the second part of a 2-parter. It was an Elseworld, and it's the Secret Society of Superheroes.
You guys entertain me so much with that right now.
Good.
I drive around listening to that. My kids hate it, mind you. They're just like, Dad, why are you listening to your friends again? I'm like,
wow, thanks, kids.
They don't understand good stuff quality.
Well, maybe if they stopped complaining and actually listened. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
But Brandon, honestly, did you see the trailer for the Doom that came to Gotham?
I haven't. I actually have it saved on my watch later on YouTube because I've been running around like a chicken with its head cut off the past like 2 days here in my house. So
no,
I caught clips of it. Leo actually did a TikTok of it, and I saw some clips.
Yeah,
of it. Pretty fun.
It looked.
That's what it was.
Honestly, it looks pretty good. I mean, I know it's not going to be 100% adaptable like the book, because the book is very much a Mignola book. But I'm very excited because just the trailer alone, I was like, oh, it's gonna be good. I'm going in. Yeah,
you're saying? No, go ahead.
No, I'm going in with high hopes because I really enjoy that Elseworld, and when you guys cover it, please let me know because I will gladly talk about it. It's one of my favorite Elseworlds that he did.
Well, when that drops, it sounds like that could be a good show, Drew. We should do book versus animated on that one.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, listen, there are.
Drew.
Listen, it's part of the reason I'm watching all these animated movies because I've been creating like a spreadsheet of the movie and then the book or storyline they based it on, so then we could do, the compare and contrast kind of thing. And I was thinking, what good one we could do.
Honey just made brisket. Delivered me a delicious plate of brisket with bark, some nice rye bread, some mustard.
Man.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool, man.
She does love you.
So anyway, what do you guys want to talk about?
And he's gone.
Look at that. That's a nice piece of bark right there. Look at that.
Yeah,
man, that woman does love you, man. She brought you brisket.
We are three dogs.
And this we are.
Why not fat cat?
Fat cat, my baby.
All right.
Oh, look at that, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. She said, I finally joined Spotify just to listen to your Comics Paradox.
I listened to it too. For some reason, it just plays on my phone.
Spread the word like wildfire, Carrie.
That's on Spotify?
It's fucking...
You know what?
Okay.
That's on Spotify. I'm going to add on to that
everywhere.
Too.
Fine podcast or broadcast. I say it in every goddamn episode. Hey, Brandon, what are you working on
right now?
Comics Paradox and Dork Night. Bi-weekly, switching off every week, every Sunday at 8 a.m. You can find them wherever fine podcast or broadcast. Boom. That one's for free.
Yeah.
I was going to say, though, you bringing up the Doom that came to Gotham and Mike Mignola, the fact, just the whole Comics Paradox Elseworlds thing. I did not put it together until we started doing the show. That for me, my touchstone, I was 4 years old when post-crisis Superman hit 1986. Right. My very first comic book ever given to me was The Man of Steel #1 by John Byrne. My father
first
gave
comic
it
to me. Variant, by the way.
Yeah,
that's a great book to start with.
Yep, I still have it. It's coverless, but the sentimental value is through the roof. I was 4. What do you expect?
I get it.
But yep, I still do have it.
I can't even believe it. I have it right here.
I have the other cover with him on the standing on the side as Krypton explodes.
Okay.
And I also later on one of the other comics that I had that one right there one. Exactly. I had Superman #25, and it was the comic book that sparked my love of alternate reality comic tales. And in it, Superman enlists the help of Hawkman and Hawkwoman. We did an episode on this one actually, and because of talking about it, I realized he goes to Krypton because he's trying to prove to himself that it's not there. Krypton is exploded and gone. They arrive. He's in a lead spray painted room or whatever in the Hawk ship, because the radiation could potentially kill him even through the ship.
Right.
And they get there, they show him through the video. There's just this giant green glowing planet. And they're like, whoa, it's not Krypton, man. Relax. It's all the kryptonite, the shards of the planet, the radioactive shards getting pulled back in towards itself because of all the gravity in the area. It will take billions of years for this to form back into like an actual, eventually livable planet.
Wow.
Were you recently doing this on one of the shows? Because this is so I'm having deja.
Yeah, this was one of the episodes.
Okay.
Like one of our very first episodes.
I'm like, holy shit! Like I could have sworn I was just talking to you about this.
They used the last of the lead spray to coat a Hawk spacesuit, and they let Superman kind of like go out and just kind of be near it. But even with that thin layer of lead, he's actually affected by the kryptonite to the point where he starts having like a fever dream.
Yeah.
And he has this entire alternate reality where John Byrne's version of Jor-El with the biosuits and everything manages to convince the Science Council, and they rocket all the Kryptonians off of the planet and they land on Earth and they go to take it over. And Jor-El actually becomes the good guy. And by the time it gets to the end, Laura's like, oh, you wouldn't kill your own son, would you? And there's like little Kal-El in his biosuit, and Jor-El's like, no! And that's when they drag Superman back into the ship and like, oh shit, this dude's tweaking out. We should probably fucking book it out of here. But it was so cool. And I did not realize for the longest time that it was Mike Mignola who was the artist on that book that John Byrne wrote.
Yeah.
And
that I was just waiting for you to say that.
The official Elseworld that was ever done was by Mike Mignola.
That's
Gotham by Gaslight.
Cool.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because it's right. Yeah, I was gonna say like him and Brian Augustin, both they that was the first one, and it's still so good. And
it's just funny how those things line up. You know what I mean? Like, he clearly has a predilection towards those Flash sideways type stories for known characters, and I appreciate the hell out of that because you have to really step outside of the box to come up with something interesting to say about what that version of the character would be. It's
absolutely.
And on the Marvel side of it, watching Neil Gaiman do 1629, like absolutely incredible. That's a fantastic book. What?
Did you mean 1692? Right?
Oh, 1692. Did I reverse the two? 1692.
No, it's 1602.
Same difference.
It's 1602. It's the book he did with Andy Kubert.
I haven't read it in like fucking 18 years. But yeah, that was incredible. It's the same kind of thing.
Beautiful book.
Mignola took Batman and stuck him in, a very realistic setting and just said, okay, this is Victorian Batman, go nuts.
Pretty much.
But I fucking love it. I don't even like Batman that much, and I love Gotham by Gaslight. So, tip of the cap.
Oh yeah, but it's funny because Brandon, you reminded me just before I guess we get to talking about our book of the night, that I started reading Planetary because I remember you were talking about it.
Oh my
God. Well,
yes.
Two things. Because one, because of Jeremy's recommendation, I actually continued and I finished the Max. Yeah. So thank you, Jeremy. That was a great book. But boy, that was a weird fucking ending. And I'm currently because I usually read five a day. So I'll do like my main read and then I'll have another book on the side that I'll just read pieces of. I've been reading the Batman Max crossover that Sam Keith did back in 2018, which is also good but weird. And I'm just and it's funny because every time Max talks, I just hear him how he sounded in the cartoon, like, everything's I am the Max, the Jungle Queen. I'm just like, I just hear that and Kevin Conroy's Batman. I'm like, oh my God, can you guys stop? I'm getting a headache. Thank you. Splash pages, everyone, where recommendations do work out.
How far into Planetary are you right now? I'm just curious.
I think I'm not too far. I'm around issue 10.
Oh, that's almost halfway.
Yeah. But I've been enjoying it. I read like one every day. So, but Slowly, surely, getting there.
I was recommended that by one of Jabo's friends a while back. I actually borrowed
if you read it, when you read it, start at number 0. It was the preview issue that was put out. It was a ash can.
I read that.
Yeah, start with issue 0 because it really it's a great primer for what the series is. Because
guys, since I don't know, and maybe some of the people out there don't know, who releases Planetary.
Planetary was a comic book. It's 27 issues long. It actually was released over the course of several years. Folks like myself, we waited an awful long time. It was done through Wildstorm. So it therefore involves a lot of the same ideas that you find prevalent in the quote modern age of Wildstorm comics, such as like the bleed and the snowflake realities, stuff like that. It was created and written by Warren Ellis and illustrated by John Cassaday, and I can't remember the colorist's name. But it was the colorist Laura something. But it's an incredibly beautifully rendered book.
Laura Martin.
Yes, I believe
Laura
that's right.
Martin.
Yeah. And the three of them on this, they are just like a trifecta of excellence. The idea of Planetary, just its conceit is, it's a group of 3 people, an older gentleman who wears all white and has white hair, has a very, very slight Southern accent, like he's worked hard to get rid of a thick accent, and he's just only gotten it down to barely there. And his name is Elijah Snow. He has the ability to freeze moisture in the air, what have you. And then there's a woman who essentially, a young woman who, her name is Jakita Wagner. She was raised in Germany by aristocrats she was adopted by, and she has superhuman strength, endurance, speed, and she gets bored very easily. And then there's the drummer, and his ability, he carries around drumsticks, he has long hair, he actually looks exactly like the artist John Cassaday. And he can read energy, he can converse. He's like a bit of a technopath. He refers to magic as the cheat codes of the world, stuff like that. He can see all kinds of information, and they together are the field team for an organization known as the Planetary Guide. And it's an almanac that's released by a mysterious benefactor every year since 1920 that chronicles the absolute strangest and most unbelievable things that occur on the planet each and every year. And Elijah Snow is tapped to join, and he has no idea who the benefactor is. He doesn't know what their deal is. He just knows he's along for the ride because he wants answers, and he knows he could probably get them with these people on his side. And from that point, they become the field team for this almanac, essentially. And Warren Ellis and John Cassaday take you through pastiches of almost every cool thing you've ever seen in pop culture, in movies, television, comic books, and even Pulp Fiction, going all the way back to the 30s. I mean, we're talking kaiju monster movies. We're talking mashups between fucking a Ghost Story and Hard Boiled by fucking John Woo, and somehow it ends up being a story about the Spectre from DC. It's not literally the Spectre, it's the pastiche. There's so much shit, and I'm telling you, I'm the only one here that's read the entirety of the thing. When you get to maybe the midway point and then the very end, you find out who the bad guys are, and then by the end you find out who the really bad guys are. And the first one is a beautiful subversion, and the second one is a fucking phenomenal amalgamation. And I'll just say it's a comic book made for comic book pop culture loving nerds.
Sounds
I
very
cannot recommend it enough.
It's right at my
especially if you like
sold.
You like sci-fi because it's definitely got some sci-fi elements in there, but there's stuff in there that when you see it, you'd be like, oh shit.
You know what? Speaking of, before we get to the book, because I know we're getting close to the 1 hour mark and we try to keep things tight here, I need to say this. I've said this to you guys in chat, but I need to say this here. I watched The Glass Onion, and that was fan-fucking-tastic.
Mm-hmm. I watched the one before.
Knives Out, the Knives Out sequel. Yeah, Knives Out. I rewatched that. I hadn't seen it since it came out. That's still great. The Glass Onion is awesome. Please watch that especially if you love Knives Out. That's my personal recommendation. Like, if you like a good murder mystery, Rian Johnson is just killing it. He wrote and directed both of them. Honestly, yes, please, more of that.
And everybody put on a great performance, and I really enjoyed Dave Bautista's performance in that as well.
Yeah, he was great. He's consistently good in everything he's been in, even Stuber.
I finally saw Stuber, and I finally saw Stuber, and it was entertaining, but I saw it once, and I feel like I'm good. I don't need to own it.
Oh yeah, same here.
I'm not
champing at the bit like, oh, finally, I can do my Stuber rewatch. No, there's. But anyway, enough of
not
that
like I'm like, oh hey.
Let's get to the comic book club.
The book of the week.
The book of the week.
Yes, but
in a world full.
In a world.
So.
Yes, Drew.
In the world where Captain America teams up with the Falcon. I guess we'll get started. So the book this week
has to finish cleaning his whites. This summer he is doing the laundry. Everybody Downey. Sorry. Go ahead.
Where's the bleach?
Sure. Do you have change for $1?
Welcome to prime time, Bleach.
I'll give you my 2 cents.
Definitely gets that.
Okay, 1, 2. All right. So the book that we were. Yeah, I know we're a little tangential today.
Tisk,
so the book
Mr.
this week
Smith. No, whisk. Ah! All right.
You okay, Drew?
I'm fine. I'm just deciding which of these alcohol I'm going to drink first.
All of them.
But
all of them.
I knew it.
Good answer, man.
But like I said, this week the book that we're going to review, and which we thought we were going to have the artist here for, but unfortunately, I do think we're going to call it. He is a no-show. Bart Sears and Christopher Priest's small work on Captain America and the Falcon. So
I have one question, and I hope somebody can answer this. Throughout the whole books or 4 issues, did Falcon's outfit keep changing colors? Because like at some points it looked, I'm colorblind, so like it was messing with me a little bit. Sometimes it looked like it was red, sometimes it was blue, sometimes it had accents of different, and I was just like, what the hell's going on here?
Oh no, Jeremy, that's your colorblindness.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I think maybe the shading was throwing you off, possibly. But
maybe
his suit looked blue.
I think it was
Did
pretty
he have
consistent.
a giant A on his head as well?
No. He had just gotten out of the
making
water.
Oh,
I was
man,
like,
it's
is
so
he blue
weird that they
because he
keep
came
making
out of the water?
Falcon's costume like blue, and that he has that star with the giant A on it, and he's white now.
Why did they put the wings on top of his head?
And I was,
Leo's out tonight,
I have
Sergio.
to ask.
Where's Leo? I'm your Leo now. No, he had some stuff he had to take care of, Sergio. So, he'll be back strong as ever, big as life and twice as ugly.
Whoa!
Thank you for asking.
Yeah. So Sergio, enjoy our Fleo, our Mr. Powers. But like I said, I'm a fan of Christopher Priest. I loved his run on Black Panther. So when I discovered this, I was like, oh wow, this is great. I just thought it was really interesting that, the way the first issue went, you're thinking like, oh shit, like Captain America is going rogue because he's done that before, and then at the end, the ending where, it looks like he's bringing in Falcon because Falcon went rogue and all this stuff. And then I was like, yeah, here's the thing, guys. Yeah, he's coming. That's not Steve Rogers. And I'm like, what?
There's good news and there's bad news. The good news is Captain America's on his way. The bad news is I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
Yeah, the weird clue for me was when he rescued a girl and then like made out with her, and I'm like, that's not very Captain America like.
Yes, that was confusing. Made me feel weird all over.
Yeah,
so when then reveal happened, I was like, oh.
See, the funny thing is, when I saw that panel, I actually went back. I went over it like 3 or 4 times, and what the conclusion I came to was not. And if you really pay attention, he is not kissing that girl.
No,
she is the one kissing him.
It is true. She's trying
because then, especially, and this was confirmed.
Yeah, later on.
Because she's like, yeah, I got his DNA when I kissed him.
Oh,
yeah, because I was like, what the fuck? Because I was so thrown off by initially I was like, what the fuck is Captain America doing here? Like, hold on, what? And then when I really saw it, it was one of those. He was saying like, just tell me what I want. Like he didn't want to kiss her. She was kissing him because he was thinking like, oh, she thinks like she needs to do this to thank me. I just want to know where I can get the guys that I want to kill. That's that.
Well,
and we find out she's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The funny thing is when we were, I was looking over this because I wanted to have something to contribute. Because God forbid I could just be here silent the whole time. I found out.
I have no idea what that's like.
Is that this? I know, right? That this series was meant to kind of fill in the gap around that time, which is like 2002, because they didn't have a Captain America solo title at that time, or at least the ones they were doing was the Marvel Knights imprint, which I guess wasn't in the same universe or something like that. So Cap Falcon, that was meant to fill that gap, but then Christopher Priest said that there were issues almost immediately during it because he said that one, he thought that the readers would have more patience to let story gradually, kind of like what he did with Black Panther, but he felt that, and I quote, I really believe readers are far less patient now than ever, and that fans love to play cancellation roulette, and so tend to avoid perfectly healthy comic books the fans presses have labeled as failure. And I'm like, wow, man, doesn't mince words. But it's funny because he said,
tell us how you really feel,
some of the issues he had, right? He said that some of the other issues we had actually were with how Bart did his storytelling. He said that initially, because Bart is a decent sized name, that the book literally sold on that alone, because I mean he was popular, but Bart also is you know how that goes. But they said that people took an instant dislike to his style. I guess the proportions were very extreme. I was like, no, Rob Liefeld wasn't drawing this, so there wasn't too.
I was going to say
that bad.
Sounds like Feldian what you're describing.
Yeah,
right.
I did
he said with that at all.
I did notice that Captain America was definitely bulked, but like I wouldn't say it was out of proportion.
No, it was big, and I thought it was interesting, and I was going to bring up to Bart that the musculature that he like, even when like Captain America twists and he just had every inch and out. And yeah, maybe he super bulked them up, but I mean, it wasn't like grossly. I mean, like we've seen things where like Captain America's chest is like a pair of tits. I hate to be crude about it, but basically that's what it is.
Liefeld. But yeah, so essentially he said that most everyone was he felt most everybody was pretty much lost by the first issue, because he had designed the first issue where you have Cap acting out of character with flashbacks leading up to this, and then at the end it's revealed that that's not Steve Rogers, and the flashbacks aren't flashbacks, but there were cutaway scenes that are happening at the same time. You know, basically everything is in the same time. And he said it was tricky, but that they had clear directions and, you know, different times. I knew it was two separate people, you know, but again, but he said that he felt that Bart chose a page layout design that was more confusing. It derailed the misdirect, that he felt he ignored his instructions and warnings, how it was to keep it straight. And then he had just like poster shot images of Cap and Falcon on every page. And then accommodating that required other things to be modified, reduced, eliminated, thus making it hard to follow. And he said, and I quote, "I wrote the thing and didn't have an earthly clue what was going on." So.
Wow. Does not sound happy.
I don't agree with that at all. I totally enjoyed it. I breezed through those 4.
I agree. I almost kept going.
I had a really good time. I thought the art was
then it was
great.
a different.
The story was captivating. I liked the flashes back and forth in time and how he told the story. Did anybody feel the same way as the writer did?
I didn't have any problem reading it at all.
I got a little confused. I got a little confused as I was going through. I mean, I was like trying to set a fucking land speed record for going through this guy. I'll be the first to admit that. I mean, I can pay enough attention to detail. I mean, for crying out loud, that's why, like I said, I went back and forth like 3 or 4 times where I was like, wait, no, she definitely kissed him. And, you know, then when I saw the line, I was like, vindication! Ha-ha! But I will say I made note of the fact that, you know, inexplicably what I started to think, you know, for a while they're calling him like anti-Captain America or whatever. I got a kick out of the doctor friend there calling him Bud America, so that's what I think of him now, like Bud America. Yeah, hey man, I'm Captain America's unruly cousin, Bud. Yeah, you are. Yeah,
but you know what?
But
you know, another.
But yeah, like they both look like, you know, one's blonde, one's dark haired, but in numerous instances, and this might be a bit of a cut, like insofar as like a performer, but they both just look like a blonde or dark haired, really muscular, super muscular version of the actor Brian Thompson.
Brian, nice on that one.
Jesus, you would recognize him if you saw him. Wait, he was in one of the Mortal Kombat movies. The second one, maybe Annihilation. Was that?
Sorry.
Yeah, it was terrible. Brian Thompson.
Yeah, I'll just Google it real quick.
Yeah, just Google it. Just Google your Yahoo. Google it. That's one thing to do.
But you know what? One thing that I did love is I enjoyed Cap talking to Red Wing.
Oh yeah.
And you realize that they're both kind of competing for Sam's attention. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you're Captain America. Why are you competing with a bird? And I'm like, whoa. It's a falcon. Calm down. Like,
in fairness, they're empathically connected.
Yes.
There we go. That's the guy I'm talking about.
Are. And they did allude to that.
That's
too.
like his Fabio shot, huh?
Yeah, for real. But like the dude's just got like a really big mouth and a very wide jaw. And they look so much like this dude, but like even bigger, you know?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It's funny. On my screen, I see everyone coming up, and it looked like someone else was coming up. I'm like, oh my God, Bart's here.
Oh, Sorry,
then that
man.
came on the screen. I was like, oh, he's got his shirt off.
Wow, Bart.
once again, I've become a nexus of disappointment in the group of people that I am with. So
it's okay.
par for the course.
But and then even like the motivation was crazy. You know, like how his motivation to basically join up, fight, the evil that he saw, and then it kind of reminded me, Brandon, of how a lot of the villains in the Ultimate Universe were all companies were trying to recreate the Captain America. Like I would say 60 to 70% of the Ultimate Universe villains were failed Captain America experiments.
I mean, not for nothing, but they took a page directly from Brian Michael Bendis setting that up in the Ultimate Universe and inserted it directly into the movies. That's literally what Thunderbolts is.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of Ghost, seemingly. That's what it looks like at any rate. And now you're left with a bunch of super soldier project like rejects, I guess you could say. Somebody said to me like Black Widow. I'm like, yeah, how that is the ultimate like Russian super soldier project. Yes, we make perfect super soldier spy. What'd you do? We train them until their eyes almost fall out of head. Then we send them out into the world, kill people we want. So like no serum or anything? No, just Russian. Like that is the most USSR thing I can think of. But yeah, she's the whole Black Widow project. That is technically a super soldier project in the MCU for sure. And I'm curious to see how that's all going to work with Baron Zemo coming in. So I love when we get little glimpses of other variations of trying to recreate what was done for Steve Rogers. And this had like all the smackings of like John Walker and Nuke, but in a completely like new-ish, like Bud America.
Right, sure.
I definitely, and it's not a bad thing. Like it's okay to have echoes of those characters because they're all stemming from the same thing. And those other guys, thankfully, I mean, John Walker kind of turned himself around a bit, but and those guys, they technically are doing the same thing that Steve Rogers did when he went to enlist in the army. The thing is, they're following the more jingoistic, demagogues, just always calling for war and fighting to fight, because like what's easier to come up with, like 250,000 American jobs or shipping 250,000 soldiers to go fight a fucking war? Well, go do that. We don't have to worry about getting them jobs now.
Right.
It's that kind of shit.
I don't know if you guys noticed in this, the Nick Fury in this was old school Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Classic.
Pre-Ultimate Universe Nick Fury.
Classic Fury. Nothing wrong with that. Either way.
Yeah,
I love the Ultimate Fury.
It's been such a long time since I've seen a comic with him in it as that version. It was a little jarring at first.
I get that, but I mean, I'm so used. I was so on board when the Ultimates used Samuel L. Jackson's likeness that I was perfectly okay with that supplanting Nick Fury in my head for the rest of the time. Yeah. Especially because Samuel L. Jackson is genuinely such a comic book nerd in real life that they reached out to him. He's like, yeah, just go ahead and do it. Like that was that. He was like, oh, awesome. I'm going to be Nick Fury in your comic book. That's enough. Like that's great.
And I'm sure any of us would be the same. What? You want to? Okay, do it.
Oh yeah. Fat fucking bald guy with a beard. Yeah, can't wait to see that in comic books. But you see plenty of that in a comic book store. I don't know if you need it in your fucking funny books too.
I'd be.
You'd be standing in front of the comic book store in a trench coat, Brandon. You'll be just fine.
Hey baby, you ever your asshole licked by Fat Man in an overcoat?
Yeah, but
fat chick killer.
But like I said, it was
a great story.
It's a good read. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I followed everything.
I'm not a Captain America person at all, and I enjoyed the fucking hell out of this.
I like the twists and the turns. It was interesting seeing them both fighting.
Sorry. Yeah, and this version of Sam.
No, I'm saying it's just interesting seeing them fighting. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm stepping all over you. I apologize.
No, it's all good. It's fine. I'm just talking for the sake of talking. No, you go, Rich.
No, I was just saying I thought Sam's character development in this. I don't want to say that he's angry in this, but he's definitely got an attitude, and he's like, I'm not fucking around. I'm getting the job done. And at one point, he's even willing to give up his life for the mission. And
right,
it's like you don't see that kind of commitment in his character a lot in the comics. He's often sidelined. So since I did read this whole series years and years ago and don't remember it super well, this got me interested enough to read it again because I want to see where they bring Sam to in this.
Well, I definitely recommend it. And I will say that if anybody is interested in reading more, there are 10 other issues. And then the next 3 after these were tie-ins to the Avengers Disassembled and are pretty prevalent to how Wanda ties, because we saw Wanda in this storyline. So there's more there, especially, all that. Because remember that she plays a very big role in Avengers Disassembled. And then you have, and then there was, what was it? Another arc was Brothers Keepers. And then I think something called American Psycho. Like it was, again, it's all Christopher Priest. It was either Bart Sears or Joe Bennett doing the artwork. I mean, Christopher Priest is a really solid writer, and to be quite honest, I thought he was great for this. And I mean, there's a wonderful connection to, if you've seen Larry, to Anti-Cap and another Marvel hero, which was pretty interesting once it was revealed. But again, that's just Christopher Priest storytelling. But honestly, again, like, he's entitled to his opinion. I didn't find anything really confusing. But then again, I'm reading it now versus like 2002 when fans were, I don't know, like going at the book. But the thing that really killed this book is once the Cap series got relaunched. And I think that must have been Brubaker and Epting's run in like the early 2000s, when he came back and they brought in the Winter Soldier. So that's what's kind of killed this book, is once that was going, they were like, well, we don't need 2 Cap series. I mean, we can have like 5 Spider-Man series, but we don't need 2 Cap series.
Yeah.
So like
nailed it.
Yep. Nailed it.
So
but
5 Spider-Man books. Did we cancel 2?
But so if I had to rate this bad boy, I'm going to give this a solid 4 Red Wings.
Whoa, Red Wings.
Okay.
I'm going to give it 2 Bruins. Okay. What are we doing here?
4 Red Wings. I'm
giving it 3 Los Angeles Kings.
I would say, since it's definitely a book I wouldn't normally read, and I enjoyed it a lot, I'll probably go up into like the 4.5 Red Wings if we're doing Red Wings. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I thought the art was fun, although I was confused why Falcon kept changing colors, but I guess I was wrong on that.
I'm gonna get you
totally wrong.
Glasses,
I mean,
man.
love you, buddy, but totally
They're
wrong.
like $500, Brandon.
I said we. I didn't say I. Like, it's a communal effort.
Yeah,
I would love
guys,
you.
Let's let Jeremy be able to see green. Like, oh my God, this is what
Merry
grass looks
Christmas,
like,
buddy.
man. Dude, what do you do in your time again?
He harvests a lot. I will agree with Rich's analysis. I very much enjoyed this. I enjoyed it when I first read it for Screen Rant, and it was great revisiting it. And to be quite honest, I'm going with 4 Red Wings, So I'm going with that. So Brandon?
I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll give it 3.75.
Okay.
3.75
This is a solid read.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I feel like it probably could have been tightened up. Maybe not as obfuscated as it was visually in certain areas. Because it's not so much like, color changing on me, but there was an
lot going on.
An awful lot in like what were clearly supposed to be frenetically paced panels. And I understand that some of that stuff was happening under the cover of, night. However, you still have to figure out a way to illuminate your characters to the point where you're not obfuscating the actions that the reader needs to be part of. So yeah, I found, and like I said, I mean, the one color change I did notice was like, anti-America there. His suit it went from blue to straight up black.
Yeah,
inexplicably.
I saw that happen too.
Like that made no sense to me whatsoever.
Right.
But regardless, like it was pretty cool, and seeing Captain America say, having people say, like Sam wouldn't do that, and if he did, like it'd have to be a big deal. And Steve saying like, yeah, and that's the thing is like I do trust Sam, and if he's doing this, it's for a reason. It scares me. I don't know what it is. So like trusting Sam implicitly, and really being more concerned about what the hell he got himself into and what he can do to help him stop it as well as save him, and not like just going in to reprimand and bring him in the way he was ordered. That is Steve Rogers through and through. Like he's not blindly following orders. He's like, I mean, I'm going because you're telling me to go, but I most certainly have my own agenda and plan of attack for this. So you can put that one right back in the holster, pal.
Totally.
I appreciate that.
The interactions between also Cap and Robbie Robertson were pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was.
Two old dudes, just professional respect for one another.
Yeah.
Shoot the shit.
An old newsman and one of the fucking most iconic war heroes / stories of the past fucking century in the same room. Like, yeah, there's a lot there.
I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with the writer. I really enjoyed Bart's stuff. I apologize, guys. I was the one who was talking to Bart Sears, and as of yesterday, he was coming. So I am assuming something happened. I apologize. Hopefully we'll reschedule. And for those who are holding on to that,
you all got no Bart Sears and got plenty of powerful Brandon instead.
It always works out.
Talk about the old bait and switch. Yikes! Good thing you don't pay for this. You might have a fucking reason to sue.
So thank you guys for showing up tonight. And that is the show. Unfortunately, like I said, our guest did not show up, but we still talked about some great comics and some comic news. And here we are every Tuesday. Regardless, we're trying to be here for you guys. And we'll see you next Tuesday. And we're going to be talking about Defenders Indefensible.
All right. Catch you on the flip-flop, everybody.
Later, everybody. Deuces.